Hello everyone, this is Jennifer coming live, just jumping on here. Actually, the lighting is super bright today, and I noticed that my hair color is super light today. It's getting lighter. I know it was darker not too long ago, but I'm jumping on because I want phone calls are coming in. If you're Isali, I'll call you right back if you catch my live. So I am going to talk today about the post that I made, and I thought this is like I didn't even realize how much attention my last post was going to make. I was just saying something because I was saying something funny and I thought it was hilarious, but I know that some people really took it to heart or took it personal or really shared their feedback on what I was saying. So I wanted to definitely share this with everyone that's watching on Facebook, right? Networking suicide. So like the comment that I said yesterday was, and you guys know I go to networking events all the time. And the post that I made 2 days ago or yesterday, I don't remember when I made it. It was supposed to be funny. It wasn't even nothing really serious, because if most people know me and know my personality, they're going to know that I just joke around, and there's times that I'm just funny and I'll just say things just to say things because I think they're funny. So I was going in my purse. So yesterday I was just going in my purse and I went to a networking event and I saw like 5 or 6 business cards of the same person in my purse. So then I was like, oh, in my head, I thought to myself like, oh, this is kind of like networking suicide in my opinion, because when I was looking through it, and I remember meeting the person, and I mean, trust me, the person was super nice. Like, he was a nice guy. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have like, I don't doubt that he has good services because of how he came off. But one thing that I do remember when I was meeting this person was, you don't really know me, right? And I remember even when I was meeting the person, he was telling me about the things that he does. I didn't really feel like he was taking the time to get to know me as an entrepreneur, right? And that's one of the things that I kind of do when I go networking. I kind of pay attention to, okay, like how receptive is this person, right? Is this person just trying to like pass off their information to me, or are they really taking their time to actually like talk to me and get to know me and know what I do, right? Because I'm an attentive listener. So I am intentionally listening and trying to figure out what is it that you do and why do you do it, right? And I like to have conversations. So that's just who I am, right? Naturally. And when I was talking to this person, he was just like, yeah, talking. And he was like, here's some cards. And then he found out what I did or what industry I was in. Well, here's like some more cards so you could give people, right? And I was like, oh, okay, out of politeness, I took the extra cards that he gave me out of being polite. But another thing that I thought was like, well, I took the cards to be polite, but I thought to myself, I am going to shove this in my purse. And honestly, I will, if I don't follow up with him or keep talking to him or whatever, I probably will forget. And probably 3 to 6 months from now, I will clean out my purse and throw out those business cards. I'm just saying, like, this is typically what happens when you give cards at large quantities to people that you're just meeting, and you're like, hey, here's like 20 of my cards, pass them around to your friends. Could it be a strategy? Yes, if you're okay with them getting thrown out. So my post wasn't to be an asshole, or, it wasn't to be disrespectful, or, right? But the reality is that sometimes when you do give multiple cards like that to other individuals, what's going to end up happening is they're just going to throw them out. Let's just be honest, right? And that's just not a smart way of passing out your business cards. And two, people don't really have business cards anymore, right? Like, you do, and they're good for certain situations, but paper cards, I mean, a lot of people have the dots. A lot of people have, I have the chat advice, right? Putting my little chat advice thing out here, right? Like, I was the coolest kid on the block in those networking. When I'm networking in networking groups and I have this thing, or I'm meeting people This thing makes me look so cool because people were like, oh man, you beat me. I'm like, I sure did, right? But I don't throw it in their face. I'm just like, yeah, this is something that I have, because they're like, do you have a card? I'm like, yeah, scan this, and they just put their phone here and boom, I get their contact information. You might have seen it on my website. If you go on my website, it says put your phone number here. It goes all into a system where I'm not sitting there and typing up people's information in a system anymore, like how I used to do it, right? But it really is networking suicide to think that I'm going to pass out 5 or 6 of my cards, give it to somebody in hopes that they're going to pass my information to someone else. Because if we are all networking and we're constant networkers, and I thrive and my business depends on networking, means I have a very large Rolodex of contacts, right? So like for someone that, let's say, for example, let's just say they're, lawnmower, lawn care, right? They're lawn care. I know 10 lawn care people, right? GCs, right? I know 20 GCs, right? So if someone comes up to me and is like, here's a whole bunch of my business cards. Well, I don't know what type of work you do. I don't know what type of quality you give. I don't know how you follow up. Like, I know that if I'm making a referral of somebody's service within people that I know, I want to make sure, I want to be positive that this person's going to deliver. This person's going to give a good job. This person's not going to bullshit the person that I am sending them to, because then that makes me look bad. And it has happened. Actually, it's happened where I'm making referrals and I'm connecting people, right? I'm connecting people to one another, and someone blows somebody off or someone doesn't show up. And then to me, then I have to like, okay, I have to reevaluate the relationship that I have with this individual in the business sense, because it's like, well, you didn't show up, or you didn't do this, or you didn't do that. Like, how can I trust you to make referrals again? How can I refer services or businesses to you and you're not actually doing what you're supposed to do? Like, that to me is like, if someone makes a referral or a recommendation, like, I try to make sure that I definitely catch up, follow up, do what I have to do to connect with that person, because they're making the introduction, they're taking their time to connect me with someone, they're trying to give me a resource. So I try to be as mindful as possible and constantly keep up with those connections, because they're important. Because someone says, hey, I know this person, she can help you, and then they make the recommendation, and if I don't follow up, that's gonna make the person who made the recommendation look bad. So I also got to keep that in mind as someone who does what I do right now. Whether I decide once someone makes a connection and we connect, but there's no follow through or nothing else happens after that, that's an entirely different story, right? So you as an entrepreneur, making sure that when you're networking, don't sit there and pass out 20 business cards, right? That's just, sometimes you're throwing out cards by doing that. I would say focus more in on creating an actual relationship with the person that you're networking with, right? Take the time to talk to them on the phone. Take the time to see them, go get coffee, do a Zoom meeting. It doesn't have to be face to face, right? But start building that relationship with that person. Then you can say, can you refer my business to other people? Then that might make more sense, right? But for me, in the role that I am, my business thrives off networking. I am a networker. I plug and connect people. I have services for my community, and even with my membership community, I'm promoting people that are my members. I'm going to promote them first before I promote somebody else, because of how big my network is, because of the relationships, because I do the coffee chat show, right? The fact that I do a show and highlight entrepreneurs, that right there in itself, I have definitely a large network of entrepreneurship, right? Of entrepreneurs, of businesses, of real estate investors, right? Because I go to 2 to 3 events a week sometimes. I'm very, a lot of people know my name, my face. Just recently, it was sometimes I don't even pay attention to some of these things, but people do, right? And I was at one of the events not too long ago, and I was networking, and someone comes up to me and is like, oh my God, you're everywhere. And I was like, what? And they were like, you are everywhere. Like, when do you not go anywhere? And I'm sitting there like, what do you mean? Like, I'm saying, like, is this a bad thing or a good thing? It's like you are everywhere. You're always promoting this. Like, you're awesome, right? And giving me my kudos. But the fact that people pay attention to the locations that you go, who you associate yourself with, who your face is next to, right? people pay attention to these things. So I'm constantly out there networking, connecting. So I needed a system like Chattervise, right? I needed something that I could collect emails and phone numbers real quickly. And then, you know, if I have events coming up, I send a text message out. I'm not like a super like strong texter, like in the sense of I'm gonna blast you every day, but I will send reminders of events that are coming up, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, that post that I made a day ago, it wasn't to be mean. It was just funny. One, if you really know my personality, you know that I was joking around, and you know that I wasn't serious, that I was actually saying what I was saying. It was just a funny message, I thought. That's why I put the laughing emoji. But sometimes people think like, oh my God, she's going to throw out my business cards. Like, you know, in cases, if I don't know you and I have a lot of business cards of yours in my purse, I might forget. I am forgetful. So that's why I was saying don't do things like that, because people are going to throw out your business cards, because there are a lot of people that are just going to take information and throw it in a bag, throw it in a purse, throw it in a drawer, and forget about who you are, right? Be more intentional when it comes to networking. Meet up with people, talk to them, get connected with them. That's really the way that you are going to preserve your relationships when it comes to networking. And I don't know, people see me as a strong networker, so I kind of felt compelled to make this message today. But with all that being said, if you guys are interested in Chattervise, let me know. I definitely, Ron Martinez, he's a big supporter of mine. I use Chattervise. I think it's a great system for strong networkers or people that are constantly out in the field, connecting with people. Take advantage of that. It's such an easy system as well. Also, you know, I have a mastermind tomorrow for my real estate people. So this is a new mastermind specifically for real estate professionals, right? So all my peoples that are coming out, whether you're an investor, whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're a loan officer, whether you're a contractor, right? But you're in the industry of real estate, please come out tomorrow, right? It's a mastermind. So again, when I say masterminds, I know people always use this word of mastermind and it's kind of like another workshop. My masterminds are actually accountability and support and goal setting groups. Okay. So just to clarify, you know, when we come together as a real estate mastermind, it's really people coming together and working strategically on what is it that they need to get done for the month, right? If you don't have that support in your office with your company or whoever you do work for, or as an entrepreneur, you don't have someone that's supporting you in that field or in that arena. And sometimes it's a lonely road just being in real estate, so you want to be around other real estate professionals. That's why I'm putting this mastermind together. It's at Neighborhood Loans office in Portage Park. Grace, she so graciously allowed me to use her space and just bring real estate professionals there and investors and agents and all that good stuff. So whoever wants to come out, it's usually small and intimate group that gets together, but it's going to be very specific, very strategic. Again, goal setting. What is it that you need to get done? How do you need to get it done? I've been doing masterminds since 2018, you guys. So for me, I love facilitating masterminds. I love talking about what is it that you're trying to do? How do you get there? What are the action steps that you should be putting in place, right? And then kind of all putting it down on paper so that for the entire month, you're actually working on executing those goals. And of course, you know, I'm launching the membership community. So if anyone wants to be part of it, I'm doing also, in addition to the once a month mastermind, there's check-in and office hours once a week offered to kind of keep you accountable and make sure you check in on, are you getting your goals done and stuff like that. So with all that being said, I wanted to make sure I shared tomorrow mastermind for real estate professionals. Come out, Neighborhood Loans, Portage Park, 9 to 11. We'll get together, we'll do some strategy there and really work towards what needs to get done for the next month. And then, of course, if you guys want to learn more about Chattervise, let me know, right? I'd be more than happy to connect you with Ron, who actually is the person that got me on this. And then finally, I'm the person that does stuff last minute, yes. But because I'm in Chicago Heights today, right? So I'm doing a bunch of stuff today, real estate related. So I'm going to do an ugly sweater event, an ugly sweater gathering. It'll be on Tuesday night. And I'm actually partnering with someone who's letting me use their office space, which I'm really excited about. The office space is going to be, it's a new launch to the space. So I'm going to do like an ugly sweater, white elephant party kind of thing. Again, it's going to be fun. So I'm going to make the white elephant gender neutral. Just bring a gift of $25, right? What gender neutral? So bring something gender neutral for the white elephant, right? So it'll be an ugly sweater white elephant networking event. It's gonna be in the I want to say by the United Center, right? I'm partnering up with someone who's gonna show their beautiful space that they have for networking and for podcasting. They have a whole studio there. So I'm really excited. I'll make this announcement today. I'll put out something, but it's on Tuesday night from 6:30 to 9. Come out, bring a gift, $25, and I'm excited about this. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that this video, helps you, inspires you, encourages you. And yeah, talk to you guys soon. God bless. Bye-bye.